Hey guys, it's Jen, and if you guys are new to my channel, I love sharing all of the things in my brain through over 10 years on YouTube talking about beauty, fashion, skincare, pretty much everything from head to toe. So if you guys are interested in that kind of content, make sure you hit the subscribe button and ring the bell so that you don't miss my next videos. Next week, I am going to be doing a video all about my skincare favorites from last year. So if you're interested in that, make sure you check back here in another week. But today I wanted to share with you my 2021 beauty favorites. I know we're running a couple months behind, but I just really wanted to do this video. So here we are because there's no rules. We're just gonna do what we like. Let's go ahead and just hop right in. Okay, so I wanted to start off with the base layers 2021. I wasn't wearing a lot of stuff on my face if I could help it. I really focused a lot of my attention more on skincare and getting my skin to a point where I felt more comfortable wearing less makeup. So when I was wearing face makeup, this is usually what I would be using. It's the IT Cosmetics Your Skin But Better CC Cream, and this was pretty much my favorite foundation that I wore last year. This really does wear and feel more like a foundation than a traditional BB cream or CC cream because it does have a lot of coverage. However, what I find to be the difference is, first of all, it's developed with a lot of skincare ingredients in it, but also that it has that coverage, so you really don't need a huge layer. And then my favorite part about it is as you wear it throughout the day, it still looks really natural, like your skin. Like, I don't find that it makes your skin blotchy or have like the oil pools on your skin that a lot of liquid foundations have. It just wears off throughout the day looking very natural, which I really love. I also love that it has SPF 50 and it has UVA and UVB protection. I, of course, highly recommend wearing a sunscreen before you put on any makeup, no matter what anyway, but I do like that it has the extra sunscreen built in. I use shade medium. It's definitely a little bit more of my summer color, but I feel like even in the winter, if I blend it out, it doesn't look that unnatural with my skin, even though it is a little bit more on the tan side. But if you generally have like a medium skin tone, medium works really well. So that's my first favorite, and it's pretty much the only foundation that I included. Speaking of this year, I do have an entire playlist of holy grail videos that I've done for like the last maybe a decade. So if you guys like these kinds of videos where it's just listing a bunch of the best products on the market, make sure you click on the playlist. I'll add it in the description box down below, but I'll also try to link it up there for you guys so that you can find it quickly. So the next product I wanted to talk about is actually a concealer. This was my favorite concealer of the last year. It's from Rare Beauty, and I just absolutely love the formula. I think I used shade 230 to get the perfect match for my skin tone, but if you wanted to use 180 and you're similar to my skin tone, that's a really good one for the under eye area to just brighten just a little bit. But I generally like using a concealer that matches my skin because the way I really have been enjoying putting on concealer in the last year is to only spot cover where I need the coverage and then let the rest of my skin just kind of be what it is and not wear foundation. I think that's maybe my favorite way of having any kind of coverage is to just skip any kind of foundation and just spot conceal. So this has been my favorite concealer to wear in that fashion. I really love that it has a doe foot applicator. It makes it really easy to apply, and the handle with the sort of flat top, it makes it really easy to grip, especially if you have issues with like gripping things or like pain in your joints. It's really easy to use. So the second concealer I wanted to mention is actually from NARS Cosmetics. It is their Soft Matte Complete Concealer. I use the shade Custard, which is sort of this like my skin tone kind of shade, but the reason I also wanted to mention this one is because the formula is quite different than like a liquid concealer like I mentioned before, especially if you have a lot of like acne hyperpigmentation and you want to have a little bit more of a matte coverage of it, I feel like this is a really great option. The only thing is if you have long nails, obviously it can be a little bit more difficult to use the products with your fingertips, and I sometimes feel like if I use a brush it wastes more of the product. But you know, I feel like I've used this for a while and I haven't made too much of a dent, so I just really like the formula. I would say if you have more oilier skin or if you're more acne prone, definitely check out a concealer like this one that's more of a matte product. I really like both of these concealers though, just in a little bit different ways. The liquid one is a little bit better for under eyes, and then the matte one is good if you have hyperpigmentation. Next, I wanted to move on to my favorite blush. I am so obsessed with Rare Beauty. I have two colors in particular that I am obsessed with. One that's a little bit on the peachier side, that's called Bliss, and then this one is a newer shade that they came out with. It's called Hope. The two of them are like my go-to everyday blushes. I really have been preferring them to powder blushes lately. I just feel like they have that more lit from within kind of appearance, but at the same time having a lot of pigmentation, which if you guys didn't know, I feel like blushes are so in right now. Loading on the blush, going like extra with the blush on the nose, all over the forehead. Like, people have been going crazy with blush. I will say, if you're checking out other shades of the Rare Beauty blushes, make sure you're careful about the shades you pick, because most of the shades of the Rare Beauty blushes are very pigmented, and it can be a little harder to apply it without having some streaks. But if you're my skin tone, definitely check out these two colors. Just have a very careful hand if you choose to go for a color that's any darker than this. Next, I wanted to mention powder. Honestly, I haven't been wearing a lot of powder in the last year. I feel like I've really been liking a little bit more of that like natural glowy kind of complexion. So I've been doing like the concealer with like no powder on top and not necessarily setting it. But in the instances where I do want to set it and I still want my skin to have a really healthy look but have the parts matte that I want to be matte, my favorite powder has actually been this 100% mineral Supergoop Invincible Setting Powder. The good thing about this is that it's an SPF 45. I really love it because it does have that extra sun protection. They say that sunscreen products don't look as good in flash photography, but because I'm not like going out to the club, it's just not what I'm doing every day. I'm not taking a lot of nighttime photos. So that flashback isn't really my highest priority. I really want sun protection with these mineral powders, which I will also say like Bare Minerals Mineral Veil. I really like how my skin looks when it's set with those types of powders. Maybe we can do a little powder showdown in a future comparisons video. If you want to see that, let me know. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I have a couple of videos where I did a showdown of like testing out different waterproof mascaras and testing out different non-waterproof mascaras, seeing which product is actually the best. So if you want to see me do that on powders, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you want to see. Next, for eyebrow products, there are two that I wanted to talk about. These are pretty much just repeats, I feel like, for the last several years. We all know that a very fluffy, puffy brow has been very popular over the last year, and this product right here is my favorite to get that look. I've tried a lot of different brow powders and brow gels and those kinds of formulas, but no matter what I try, I always go back to Benefit's Gimme Brow. I like the shade number 3. I feel like most people who have a similar skin and hair color as myself tend to go for shade 3 or 4 depending on how naturally full your brows happen to be. If you have fuller brows, you could get away with 3. It's a little bit more of an ashy color, so it just gives like a little more fullness without going full on like dark caterpillar brows. But personally, I have to say it's a little bit of a mini mini pet peeve of mine to see girls who are really into this big brow phase go too dark with their eyebrow color, where it almost looks like they filled their brows with like a Sharpie marker. Like, please do not do a black caterpillar on your eyebrows. You're all going to look back in 20 years and feel a lot of regret about the decisions you made about your brows in the past if you do any kind of over extreme that just doesn't look like something close to your natural brow thickness and shape. And that is coming from somebody who definitely lived through the 90s and 2000s where people did like a skinny little line of eyebrow. I'm so thankful that my past self didn't pluck my brows to that extreme, but we don't want to be doing that in the future with our fluffy caterpillar brows of today either. So I've always said this, if you're looking for the perfect brow color, if you have dark hair, go 1 to 2 shades lighter than your natural hair color. If you have light hair like blonde, go 1 to 2 shades darker. And if you stay within that range, it should stay looking pretty natural. But if you try to go a little more extreme than that, you might have the photos of the past that you regret. I'm just saying, just from past experience, it could happen. So with that fair warning, I like shade 3 from Benefit on myself. I love the Gimme Brow for that really fluffy natural look. This is also really great on days where I just want a super fast brow and I don't want to be really meticulously drawing in the entire shape of my brow, because this is just this great mini brush. It's super easy to just fill it in really quickly. And then for a pencil, I've been using the Precisely My Brow Pencil a ton. I love the color, I love the formula. It's not overly soft, but it's also not overly dry. It's not like dragging against your skin. This is the more pinpoint pencil. I also like the Goof Proof, which is a little bit thicker and quicker to use. But I also really love that it has a spoolie on the other side. Fill it in, blend it out, super easy, super quick. Next, I wanted to mention my #1 favorite mascara of the last year. I don't necessarily use this one the most often, but it's the one that I am the most passionate about. Anytime I know that I really want my lashes to look perfect, especially like when I am not wearing any false eyelashes, which is most days. Last year I said I wanted to make it one of my goals to wear false lashes less, and I definitely did that last year. And this has been a huge part of me feeling even more confident with my natural lashes, because if you want short, downward pointing Asian lashes to really like be lifted up and give their most maximum kind of look, this is the mascara that's going to do it. This is the Heroin Make Volume and Curl Mascara, super waterproof. This is just the most amazing, the most waterproof mascara. It will hold your curl up, it will make those lashes visible, and it won't wear off or flake off or cause panda eyes, which if you have monolids or if you have small eyelids or hooded eyes where the lids are kind of rubbing against your lashes frequently throughout the day, that can cause a lot of those dark circles under your eyes from your makeup, and we don't want that. She is not cute when that happens, and this mascara is one of the only ones that's really foolproof in preventing that. Admittedly, the biggest critique of it is that it's hard to remove, but if you just do a regular like oil cleanser, double cleansing situation before you wash your face off at the end of the day, it's not really a big deal. I think it's worth it to have the extra work of removing it for it to stay on the entire day, through naps, through tears, through anything. I feel like it holds a curl even if you cry. I mean, that's pretty impressive. Next, I wanted to talk about my favorite pencil eyeliner. Now, I will say I do not use a pencil eyeliner as a standalone eyeliner product. I usually use pencil eyeliner as a base underneath powder eyeshadow. You know, it can give a little bit more pigmentation under a really nice smoky look. It can help you basically set a base for a really beautiful eyeshadow look. You can fill in between lashes and like blank spots after you do a liquid eyeliner. I feel like pencil liner has a lot of different uses. However, standalone, it is a very waxy based product. So if you do have a very oily eyelid, if you have monolids and you try to use this as your only eyeliner, it will probably smudge to your under eyes throughout the day. That's just kind of the nature of how it's made versus a waterproof liquid eyeliner. But I definitely have a lot of uses for a pencil eyeliner, and this has been one of my favorites this year. It's by One Size, which is Patrick Starr's makeup line, and you can buy it at Sephora. And what I love about this formula is that it's so creamy and so opaque. It is so pigmented and really soft. It just glides on really easily, so that makes it really easy to control as well. So I just really love it. It's been a fantastic pencil. I also have it in black as well, and those have been pretty much one of my major go-tos of eyeliner in the last year. Speaking of eyeliner, I of course cannot move past this video without mentioning liquid eyeliner. This one is from CLIO, which is a Korean eyeliner. No, it's a Korean makeup company. I have to say, if y'all have not tried a Korean liquid eyeliner, please do yourself a favor, try it out. They, I feel like, have just perfected the formulas, especially if you happen to be monolided, especially if you happen to have hooded eyelids. Just trust me on this, especially if your main eye makeup thing that you do every day is just like some brows and eyeliner, and that's pretty much it. You have to try a Korean brand. They just have really nice brushes. They have really nice formulas. It stays on all day. It's really pigmented. This is my current favorite and the one that I've been using every single day. It is their Kill Black Waterproof Pen Liner. It has my favorite kind of tip, which is very finely tipped, and it's also a felt tip. So the combination of those two things in this product make this quite a superior liquid eyeliner pen. Next, I wanted to talk about a lip product that has just been such a go-to for me this year. It's a lip pencil. This is from Pat McGrath Labs, and it is in the color Bare Rose. And I feel like I just use this sort of pinky, nude-ish, rosy colored lip pencil. I could just use it like every day. My favorite thing to do in the last year is slightly overlining just in between the 2 points of my Cupid's bow area. And then I fill in the whole lip, and then I put a gloss on top, and there you have it. That's actually what I'm wearing today. I am wearing a different, I think I'm wearing a different lip liner today. I'll look that up and then put that in the info box if you want to get this lip look today. But I've really been loving using a lip pencil. I'm not always into lip pencils every single year, but I just really like the look of it. I think especially if you're still in that mode where you have a lot of Zoom calls, the look of having lip liner everywhere and then a shiny gloss on top, it just makes the lips really pop in that webcam. You know what I mean? All right, so the next product I wanted to talk about is a lipstick. This is a Powermatte lip pigment. This is from NARS. I'm not talking about this particular shade. I actually think the one that I'm holding was from a limited edition collection, so I think it might be hard to find this exact shade. It's so beautiful. It's like this like orangey red. So I'll find the closest permanent collection dupe of this, and I'll link that in the info box for you guys. I just really love the formula of the NARS Powermatte liquid lips because they're not too heavy on the lips. Do you know what I'm talking about? There are some liquid lipsticks that make you feel like it's like a thick layer of soul-sucking, drying paint that's sitting on top of your lips. I don't really like the feel of that. You know, sort of like the Kylie Lip Kit kind of super drying matte lips. That's not really my favorite thing, but what I like about this particular lipstick is that you can get that really full pigmented lip, but it doesn't feel heavy because it's such a liquidy formula. It also dries really transfer proof, which is fantastic if you're wearing like a mask all day and you want to be able to take it on and off and still have really vibrant lips underneath, but not have it get on your mask. This is my #1 recommendation for that. So I wore this particular bright orangey red shade as a full-on lip color. I feel like it's very like great for the holiday times, but I also really loved using this through the spring and summer in sort of that ombre lip, like Korean K-pop style liquid lipstick vibe. I feel like that was my favorite way of wearing this through especially the first half of last year. So I definitely recommend trying that if you haven't. I feel like it's such a pretty youthful vibe. I feel like I'm probably gonna start doing the ombre lip thing again soon, just because it's such a cute look and it's just so nice, especially when the weather gets a little bit warmer and it's a little sunnier outside. I love doing my lipstick like that, so this is definitely a huge favorite. And then my next product recommendation, which I feel like is kind of similar to the last one, is from Chanel. This is the Chanel Rouge Allure ink. This is probably my favorite color that they have, but I do have this in a couple of shades. This is the one that is called Amoureu, and I feel like it's such a great My Lips But Better color. Every time I wear this, I feel like I always have people ask me what it is, and not because it stands out a ton, but I think it's because it looks so pretty and so natural. And sometimes it's hard to find a pink that doesn't look like overly pink or overly brown. You know what I mean? Like, it just looks really pretty and natural on the lips. And for me, that is this shade. I feel like this is also one of the more liquidy liquid lipsticks, but it doesn't seem to be like overly drying. I like using this both all over the lips and also in the style where it's a little more ombre. But compared to the NARS, which is a true matte, it almost feels a little bit gel-like when you first apply it, and then it sort of dries down. But it's just a really beautiful, comfortable lipstick to wear all day, and I love the color, I love the formula, and definitely one of my favorites. And then finally, my last product in the whole entire video is actually a lip gloss. I feel like I kind of broke up with lip glosses for a few years there. Like, they just weren't really on my radar. I was much more into the matte lip look. Even through a lot of these last couple of years where we were doing a lot of mask wearing, I just didn't like the idea of having a gloss and then have everything transfer and get on every mask and get stuck in my hair. Again, because of a lot of Zoom calls and wanting that extra little pop on the lips, I do feel like lip gloss has made such a comeback in the last year. So this is actually from Rare Beauty, and instead of just being your typical lip gloss, which even though it's glossy, even though it's liquidy, a lot of lip glosses tend to be drying on the lips, which is like my least favorite thing. I love anything that's a little more hydrating, a little more balmy, and this is actually more of a lip balm type of formula, but in the form of a gloss. So this is the color Nearly Rose. I absolutely love it for an everyday kind of pink. You can wear it on its own and it imparts a little bit of that pinky tint to your lips, but then you can also start off with a little bit of a lip liner all over the lip and then put this on top, and it just has such a beautiful glossy finish. So that's actually kind of a combo of what I'm doing today. I had on a lip liner, and then I think I used the Rare Beauty Balm gloss. I can't remember exactly what it's called. I will have the name of it up here, but I'll also link all of the products I mentioned in the video down below so you can check it out. I chose the color that was a little bit more of like a brown kind of neutral shade, and I have more of like a neutral 90s-ish vibe for my lips today, but I just think it makes my lips feel super hydrated, super moisturized, but still gives that nice shiny pop. Okay, so that was it for the entire video for my Holy Grails. If you guys want to see more of my Holy Grails video, I will leave the entire playlist linked up there so you guys can see all of my past favorites from the last several years. I also am going to be doing my skincare Holy Grails of 2021 that I will link in the info box below. So make sure you guys click on there if you want to see all of my skincare favorites. I love you guys so much. I'm so thankful for you guys to just give so much support and be watching every single one of my videos. Y'all are so beyond freaking awesome. Thank you so much. If you liked this video or found it helpful, please hit that thumbs up and subscribe to more of my videos, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!